Dear students, Namaste and welcome back to a new mathematics session. In today's session, we shall discuss problems from exercise 1.2. Before starting the session, please make sure that you are keeping your instrument box with you because we are going to draw some of the construction part. Let's begin our lesson. First question from exercise 1.2. The question is, state whether the following statements are true or false. Justify your answers. The first statement is, every rational number is a real number. In the previous class, we have learned the definition of real numbers. Real numbers include both rational and irrational numbers. Means, in the real number system, we have rational numbers as well as irrational numbers. Here the question says, or the statement says, every irrational number is a real number. Means irrational number means it is a real number. Since real numbers include both irrational and rational numbers, the given statement is true. So here real numbers are the collection of both rational and irrational numbers. The given statement is true. Second statement is, every point on the number line is of the form root m, where m is a natural number. So here the statement is saying about the number line. As we have learned, in the number line we can include 0, negative numbers and the positive numbers. In case of negative numbers, we cannot express it in the root m form. Means negative numbers we cannot put it inside the square root. So the given statement is false. A negative number cannot be expressed as square roots. So the given statement is false. And the third statement given is, every real number is an irrational number. Here irrational numbers are mentioned and real numbers also mentioned. As I have mentioned before, real numbers are the collection of both rational and irrational number. So the real numbers include both irrational and rational numbers. Therefore the given statement is false. It is saying every real number is an irrational number. Means whatever numbers you take, all these numbers are irrational numbers. Of course, irrational number means square root of 2, square root of 3, square root of 5, pi, all these numbers include irrational numbers. But here it is saying all real numbers are irrational numbers. Therefore, the given statement is false because real numbers include both rational and irrational numbers. Rational numbers are not mentioned in this statement. Therefore, the given statement is false. Next, we shall discuss question number 2 of exercise 1.2. Are the square roots of all positive integers irrational? If not, give an example of the square root of a number that is a rational number. In the first part of the question, are the square roots of all positive integers. Positive integers means 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. Irrational. Irrational numbers examples root 2, root 3, root 5 and so on. So here when we take the positive integers square root, are we getting irrational numbers? That is the question. Let's take an example. Here square root of 4. When we take the root of 4, we will get the answer 2. So 2 is a rational number. One more example, that is a root 9. Root 9 is 3. 3 is also a rational number. So we are not getting irrational numbers. We are getting, first part we got 2, that is a rational number. Second part we are getting 3, that is also a rational number. So irrational numbers alone we are not getting, we are getting rational numbers also when we take the square root of positive integers. So the answer is no. The square roots of all positive integers are not irrational. Next, let's recall the concept of Pythagoras theorem. We have studied in smaller classes the Pythagoras theorem. Here, consider a right angle triangle. First of all, we have to mark 90-degree opposite side, that is the hypotenuse, or C we will mark. Hypotenuse we call and we will label it as C. And the other two sides we have to mark as B and A. The Pythagoras theorem says the square of the hypotenuse is here C. The square of the hypotenuse is equal to the sum of the squares of other two sides, means a square plus b square. Once again, Pythagoras theorem says the square of the hypotenuse. Here hypotenuse is 90 degree, opposite side is hypotenuse. So here hypotenuse I have marked as C. Square of hypotenuse, that is C square, is equal to sum of the squares of other two sides, that is A square plus B square. So that is the Pythagoras theorem statement. C square is equal to A square plus B square. So you have to make this concept very clear, because for the next 2-3 questions we have to use this concept. Hope it is clear. Next question, locate root 2 on the number line. So we have to represent root 2 on the number line. We know already how to represent integers on the number line, like 0, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, 1, 2, 3 and all. We know how to represent it. Now these irrational numbers like root 2, how we have to represent, that's what we are going to study. First of all, we have to recall the concept of Pythagoras theorem, that is C square is equal to A square plus B square. The square of the hypotenuse is equal to sum of the squares of other two sides, means A square plus B square. Here I am substituting for A and B 1, that is C square is equal to 1 square plus 1 square. Then C square is equal to 1 square is 1. Here also 1 square is 1. So 1 plus 1 we will get. Then C square is equal to 2. From here we can calculate the value of C. C is equal to square root of 2. So this square root of 2 we have to represent on the number line. How we have got this root 2? Let's recall. We have taken two sides, A as 1, B as 1. Then we have got C as root 2. Means these three are the sides of a right angled triangle. Means 1, 1 and root 2 are the sides of the right triangle. So let's take the right triangle and we have to mark it as OA and B, and OA I have to mark it as 1 unit. Means first from 0 to 1 I have to take 0 to 1, of course it is 1 unit or 1 centimeter. Then A to B also I have to take 1 centimeter. Then surely by using Pythagoras theorem, this 1 square and 1 square, total 2 we will get. Square root of 2 is the length of OB we have calculated here. So of course the length of OB will be root 2 centimeter. This is the way we are going to construct a triangle and mark root 2 on the number line. First of all, draw a number line, and from 0 to 1 distance you have to take, and at 1 you have to mark A, and from A you have to draw a 90 degree angle or a perpendicular, and on this perpendicular we have to mark 1 centimeter, that is we will get up to B. And when you join O and B, the length of OB will be root 2 centimeter. So this is the first part of our representation of root 2 on the number line. How we have to draw, we will see it on the next slide. Next we shall discuss how to represent root 2 on a number line. For that, draw a number line and label the points 0, 1, 2, 3 and minus 1. And exactly at 1, keep your protractor and mark 90 degree. By using your ruler, join the points which you have marked as 90 degree and the point 1 on the number line. By using your compass, take the distance between the points 0 and 1. Using that as a radius and 1 as center, draw an arc on the perpendicular which you have drawn on 1. And label the points O, A and B. Join OB by using your ruler. Use your compass and measure the length of OB. Using that as a radius and O as center, draw an arc which meets the negative and positive parts of the number line and locate the point of intersection of the arc and the number line just in front of the 0 and label it as root 2. Next, we shall discuss how to represent root 3 on the number line. Here, the number we are asked to locate is root 3. So, for reaching root 3, first we have to draw root 2, and then from root 2 we have to proceed to root 3. So, by using Pythagoras theorem, let's try to find out how we have to reach to this root 3. So, let's recall the Pythagoras theorem, that is c square is equal to a square plus b square. Here, I am substituting a as a root 2 and b as 1. So, c square is equal to root 2 square is 2, 1 square is 1. So, 2 plus 1, that is c square is equal to 3, and from here c I will get root 3. So, how I have got root 3? I have taken a as a root 2 and b as 1. So, here b is equal to root 2 centimeter and a is equal to 1 centimeter. As I mentioned before, b is root 2 means we have to construct first root 2, or we have to locate first root 2, then from root 2 we have to proceed to root 3. Let's see the rough plan. That is, first of all we have to form a right triangle, that is OAB, and the length of OA is the distance between 0 and 1, that is 1 centimeter, and the length of AB, that is also 1 centimeter. Then surely OB is the hypotenuse of the triangle OAB. Then length of OB will be root 2 centimeter. So I have got here the measurement root 2. So one side I have got root 2. Now I have to make another side whose length is 1 centimeter. So I have to form a right triangle. So this is one of the side OB. Then I have to form a right triangle. Means from B I have to draw a perpendicular, or from B I have to draw 90 degree, and then from that 90 degree perpendicular I have to cut 1 centimeter and I have to label the point C. And now I have got the two sides of the triangle. One is root 2, another one is 1. So here root 2 and 1 I have located. Then if I join OC, the length of OC is the hypotenuse, that is root 3 centimeter. So this is the basic part of locating root 3 on the number line, and how we have to represent root 3 on the number line, that we will discuss on the next slide. Next, we shall discuss how to represent root 3 on a number line. For that, as before, draw a number line and exactly at 1, keep your protractor and mark 90 degree. By using your ruler, join the point which you have marked as 90 degree and the point 1 on the number line. By using your compass, measure the distance between the points 0 and 1. By using that as a radius and 1 as center, draw an arc on the perpendicular you have drawn through 1. By using the ruler, join point O and the point of intersection of the arc and the perpendicular. Mark the points O, A and B. Now use your compass and measure the length of the line segment OB. Using that as a radius and O as center, draw an arc which meets the negative and the positive sides of the number line and mark root 2. and keep your protractor at B and mark 90 degree. Use your ruler, join the point B and the point you have marked as 90 degree. Take your compass. As before, measure the distance between the points 0 and 1. Using that as a radius and B as center, draw an arc on the perpendicular you have drawn through B. Label the point C. Using your ruler, join the points O and C. By using your compass, measure the length of the line segment OC. Using that length as a radius and O as center, draw an arc and locate the point of intersection of the arc and the number line which is in front of root 2 and label it as root 3. Next, we shall discuss how to locate root 5 on the number line. The basic procedure you know, you have to use the Pythagoras theorem and we have to check how we have to reach to this root 5. Very simple here, that is C square is equal to A I have to substitute as 2 and B I have to put as 1. So C square is equal to 2 square is 4 and 1 square is 1. So C square is 4 plus 1, that is equal to 5. So when you take the square root, C is equal to root of 5. So here B is equal to 2 centimeter and A is equal to 1 centimeter. Two sides we have got, one is 2 centimeter and another one is 1 centimeter. These are the two sides of the right triangle. Then the hypotenuse we will get it as root 5 centimeter. So the basic plan is like this. We have to form a right triangle and the base length is 2 centimeter. Means we have to form a right triangle OAB and the length of OA should be 2 centimeter. Means from 0 to 2 we have to take it as OA. So the first point A we have to mark it on 2. In the previous question we have marked A on number 1 because we want the base as 1 centimeter. Here we want the base as 2 centimeter. That's why we have to locate the point A on 2. So OA is equal to 2 centimeter. Of course, like previous question, AB, length of AB is 1 centimeter. Then surely there is a right triangle OAB. The length of OB must be root 5 centimeter. So this is the basic procedure for locating root 5 on the number line, and how we have to locate, let's discuss on the next slide. Next, we shall discuss how to represent root 5 on a number line. For that, you have to draw a number line and label the points. And exactly at 2, you have to keep your protractor and mark 90 degree. Using your ruler, join the point which you have marked as 90 degree and the point 2 on the number line. By using your compass, measure the distance between the points 0 and 1. And by using that as radius and 2 as center, draw an arc on the perpendicular you have drawn. Label the points O, A and B. By using your ruler, join the points O and B. Use your compass and measure the length of OB. By using that length as a radius and O as center, draw an arc which meets the negative and the positive parts of the number line. And locate the point of intersection of the arc and the positive part of the number line and label it as root 5. Dear students, today we have discussed how to represent root 2, root 3 and root 5 on a number line. I request all the students to draw these questions in a separate sheet of paper and practice it. While practicing, if you have any doubt, please note it and keep. We will discuss it during the discussion session. Thank you for watching.